your earliest convenience. Now, show me what you can do.
Well, I hope we're live. I think we are. I think we're good.
We'll do it. We're live.
We're doing it live. Well, welcome to the 12th episode of the Halo Infinite podcast. We are missing Josh. He pulled a Josh on us this week. We have no idea where he is.
Somewhere up in the woods.
Hopefully he finds his way back soon. But we're on our own this week, so this could go about 5 minutes. Or it could go 5 hours. But
and you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to be good.
It's going to be
Josh
good. Josh is in here.
I have a sneaking suspicion he'll probably pop in the comments somewhere along the way.
Okay, I can see the chat. All right, cool. But Crawler, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. Another day, another dollar. Here we go.
And Mule, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I am ready for the weekend, and I'm ready for some more flights, man. I need a game to pull me in. I don't have it. I need it.
They keep teasing us. They're like, make sure you got those check marks. Make sure you got those check marks.
And we're what, two weeks out from Gamescom, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks out.
Yep.
And is it 2 weekends from the flight? Like this is the second weekend that we didn't have a flight.
Yeah, it's been 2 weekends without a flight. Yep.
Yeah, after playing the first flight, I don't want to play anything else.
There's just nothing. I don't even want to go back to the Master Chief Edition because it's like I just want freaking Halo Infinite, man. I'm hoping we get to see like big team battle on this next flight. Like I think that would be like really cool if they just like busted out the gate, said PvP, big team battle, go have fun. You know,
I think we'll see that because I think they want to see the netcode talking 8v is what is big team battle, 8v8 or 6v6? I forget.
I thought it's 12. I thought they changed it. That's 12v12 now.
I think on Master Chief you can do 6v6 and 8v. Well, no, big team's 8v8. I think.
But Halo 2 is 8v8, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they want to have 16 different connections and stress the servers that way. I don't know if we'll get that on the next one. I think we're going to get a few more. But I don't know if we're going to. We only got what, an hour and a half or so of actual PvP last time.
Yeah, it was really, really short.
It was quick. So I think they'll want to stress test that a little bit more with a wider general knowledge that it's actually happening, because it was kind of a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of deal where they tweeted it out. It had been teased in that Wednesday or Thursday preview. They said if we're lucky we'll turn it on. I thought it was going to be on for the remainder of whatever we had in that flight, but I didn't realize they were going to just turn it off and turn it on, or turn it on and then turn it off. And it went off while we were doing the podcast that night. After we had played 4 or 5 matches, maybe is all we got in before we podcasted.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any issues though, did we? Like we were all connected and
I don't think
played fine.
I think we had better connections than against the bot games where we were struggling coming into dead bodies and stuff. I think we all connected at the same time.
No, we all had a really big issue, guys. And we had to carry Josh on our back.
I know. Well,
he kept stealing our weapons.
Behind his back? Are we talking behind his back right now?
We are, man. We got to make fun of him since he's not here. So.
Yeah, Gavin, his son Gavin's here. He's listening, so he can probably attest all that too.
Yeah,
we love you, Josh. If you're listening out there, you just got to up your skills a little bit.
Stop stealing weapons.
Stop stealing weapons.
I swear. Yeah. That guy.
Well, welcome, chat. So what we're going to talk about this week is teabagging bots.
There's so many memes that are coming out of just like the few weeks of Halo that I hope they embrace going forward and put in like fruit and teabagging bots and
Josh is here. Josh is here, by the way.
Yeah. Craig, that would be hilarious. We need like something sprayed on a wall, like
a spray, yeah. Because I
long
think
live
they're.
Craig.
I would hope we
Well,
have.
have you seen the pictures or the screenshots of what was on Bizarre? Like what the references that were on Bizarre? There's one where the meme where Phil Spencer's holding an Xbox Series X as as a rocket launcher. Like, apparently that's in there, unless somebody might have photoshopped that.
Might be good with Photoshop.
Yeah, somebody might have been Photoshop. Maybe the teabagging bot can be Craig.
That would be perfect.
And then the only thing he does is shoot fruit.
Yeah.
I hope they embrace the memes. But who came out and said that the bots weren't teabagging? Was it?
There's articles we have. I'm seeing one from Kotaku. I just Googled it. There's Eurogamer, Games. I mean, quite a few different outlets picked it up. I think it was a tweet. Our account retweeted it, and Josh, or I'm not sure which one of you put the Ron Burgundy "I don't believe you" gif in there. That was
me.
Pretty good. Was it you? But yeah, I mean they want to be welcoming to people that haven't played an arena style shooter like Halo in a while. They've only played the Fortnites and the Apexes of the world, and
I'm hoping the hype that Splitgate is getting is going to translate over to Halo, because that is a.
And Splitgate embraces the teabag. They have a mode.
Oh yeah, they have a teabag mode. And they keep track of how many teabags you do. So it's
is it like an achievement?
It's like a stat. Like when you go into your stat that has your kills, your wins, your losses, and teabags is in there.
Well,
Yeah,
is that
hilarious.
but is that tied to teabags confirmed though? Maybe or
either
is it,
way though, like that's still
funny.
pretty. Still pretty. They're definitely embracing it. I don't know. We could talk about Nintendo for a second here, but for Splatoon, there's a thing called squid bagging, and if you did it online, you would get banned. So,
wow, that's Nintendo.
I hope 343 embraces this, and not ban you for teabagging people.
I mean, I think it's just part of like the culture of Halo, man. It's just like ingrained. It's been there for forever. Like Master Chief with a little bit of Lipton, it's just it's just there. It's just part of the game now. And the thing is, I think like it doesn't make, maybe I'm just getting older, but it doesn't make me as mad as it used to. Like, oh, he's teabagged? All right, it's on. Let's go. It's not like I get raged, like I get so outraged about it anymore. I know some people hate it, but it's like
that's part of the sweat mode engaged.
Yeah.
If you get teabagged, that is when you are entering sweat mode.
Yep.
And you go after them. It's just.
That's because Call of Duty evolved us, and we got the hot mics after the death. And we had the music blaring or the kids screaming or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll take the respect Neils any day.
So they do have hot mics in Halo Infinite, right? Like they confirm that, or is that?
Are you talking about for the other team? I think it's just your team is like I
don't know if there's a death wipe. I don't know if there's.
Yeah,
I remember when they showed the settings in their little presentation, they had a mic, but I don't know if it's. I don't think it's the other team.
For a multiplayer game, I wouldn't want that though, because it'd have to be only if there's ridiculous. A VR. Yeah, I mean, you would never be able to hear anything because everybody'd be like, "You stupid!" Yeah, you couldn't hear anything.
You ever seen the memes where it was like if you could have hot mics on all the time in a BR, it's just
oh my god,
screaming constantly.
That's why the PS5 controller has that option. I always default that to mute. It's always on. I don't even have a mic hooked up to my Xbox. I just prefer Discord. I want Discord integration for everything just so I can have it that way.
Yeah.
And it is supposed to come to, it's coming to PlayStation. Is it coming to Xbox?
I think once it's evolved for that, Discord would want to be everywhere. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Xbox Live could do a better job than what they have with the party system, and maybe have a way to integrate it if I could have it just on my computer. So when I'm sitting here in front of it, I don't have to have, because I have one set of headphones plugged into a mixer that pulls audio from all my different HDMI outputs and my computer into one, so I don't have to switch headsets or anything like that. So it is kind of a pain if I want to have the integrated microphone for Xbox. So if I do a party chat, I'm doing it through the Xbox app. So it's only
App
parties
on
that
Windows 10.
yeah, so I'm only doing party stuff if I'm doing, but it's also a better sounding microphone. It's better, all that.
I never have my mic on, like public mic anyway. I only do party chats. I
feel like Halo, we're going down memory lane now a little bit, but like Halo 2, Halo 3, like Xbox Live was still, well, especially Halo 2, Xbox Live was still new. And I think that's when Xbox Live had its biggest explosion of subscriptions. I know that's when I got mine with the 3-month trial or whatever that came with Halo 2. There was Rainbow Six was kind of the only real thing before Halo 2 with online play. Kind of before that, there was maybe some DLC stuff. No, there wasn't DLC stuff because DLC didn't come about until Horse Armor.
What about like SOCOM? Well, I know this is PlayStation, but I don't know if SOCOM had chat.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is COD. That's the only thing that had like, you know.
Well, we know all the like COD lobbies,
but Rainbow Six is the one that came with the packed-in mic on Xbox that you could communicate to your AI teammates, and then they introduced online play with that. So I mean, that's how I think a lot of those microphones got out there.
I wonder how well that worked. Probably not very well.
It was rudimentary. I mean, it was impressive for the time, because that was 2003 when that happened, when that came out, I think. But Halo 2 brought about the need for the crappy one-ear microphone that sounded like this, so you were swallowing it. I mean, but
people still have those.
And a fan right here. Yeah.
I don't know like what type of mics people use, but they're still using. They're using the PS5 built-in mic, you know. Actually, I was like,
so it's like right here, you know.
So they're playing with their controller.
They would understand that, you know, audio quality is key, you know. Anyway,
at least for us, we have finer tastes and things.
Exactly. So there was we have Gamescom coming up in a couple weeks, and Microsoft confirmed that they will be there. We don't know what they're going to show, but it is pretty easy to guess that they will show some type of Halo. What do you guys want to see?
First?
Yeah, you go
first. I absolutely hope that it's something with the campaign. I think that we're all anxious to kind of see something from the campaign, to see a little bit of the open world and how it's going to look. If they're going to have like Spartan AIs running around with you, or if they're going to have like just Marines run around, or ODST, or what exactly it's going to look like. If you're going to have like a social area, kind of like in Destiny 2, where like you go to this area and you can go to craft, or you can go to buy weapons or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, but I would love if they let us see some of that, and maybe what they have in store. Just on because I mean, Halo is intriguing anyways because of the story, but now you have open world Halo. Like, what does that mean? What's all going to go into that? Is it going to be enough to pull me away from multiplayer? You know,
and it's multiple objectives to choose how you want to tackle it.
Yeah, so I want to see it, man. I want to see some campaign stuff. I don't think I'd ever say that about Halo, but I do. I want to see the campaign.
Well, Halo is like I feel like it's the story shooter, right? Like, you play a lot of multiplayer, but it also has a good story attached, except for Halo 5. But everything else, like
It's story. It's kind of okay.
Hunt the Truth was better than
Yes.
5. So,
Yes.
but I like you saying there needs to be campaign. I think I 1,000% agree, because at this point, the rumor mill is starting to swirl. Is campaign actually coming out with multiplayer? And because we've only seen multiplayer now actually running since Craig showed his face,
Yeah.
we don't.
I think they're worried. I think they're scared. Like,
yeah,
like they don't want it. They don't want a Craig situation anymore. Like they don't want it. You know.
This game games don't go necessarily gold anymore, but they still have a process of what is being finalized and sent to the store. So there is still a gold finishing time, and then work continues for day one patch. They have to be getting close to a going gold situation with this game, I would think. And we can talk about this maybe here in just a little bit, but like there's a rumored file size that showed up on a Microsoft Game Store leaked image. So I mean, we have a potential file size which is sizable, but any game is a sizable file size. Flight Simulator's over 100 gigs. Gears 5 is over 100 gigs. Forza Horizon 5 is over 100 gigs. So I mean, games, especially with the 4K assets and all the rigmarole that goes into it, they're sizable files. The Flight was 18 gigs on X or Series X. It was like 15 or 4. Somebody had a series. I don't have a Series S, so I don't know exactly what it was. I was assuming it was going to be the same file size, but I was corrected in Discord. It was a little bit smaller, I think by 3 or 4 gigs. I know PC was like 16 gigs. At least my assets were. I don't know if it adjusted, but I think it should be the same for Steam. For everybody. And then my Xbox One S was like 11 or 10 gigs. So I mean, it definitely scales when you get the higher level graphical assets into it. But that was just 3 maps and some player models. We don't know.
I'm sure they had.
We don't know what was all buried
in there.
There was stuff buried in there because people data mined it. But
yeah. I was thinking as you were talking about the file size and the campaign that I wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you think they're going to have it to where we're just our own customizable Spartan that's playing the campaign, so that we're not playing as Chief? Like maybe to start out, you play as Chief a little bit, but do you think they're going to kind of introduce it that way, where he's more of like, and I'm thinking like in the theme of like Destiny, where like he's like a Cade 6 type of role, where like you'll have.
I think the academy is I think the academy is a big part of this whole thing. And I think I'm trying to remember if there's a story I read somewhere by one of the news outlets, or if it was a tweet or something like that. But or if it was even maybe Phil in one of his podcast rounds that he did. But like the goal is to set up a platform to move forward without Chief. And I think that is being player centric and putting you at the center of the action and taking the Destiny style approach. It doesn't have to rely on Chief. I think if they have you invested in you and how you look and how you progress through a story, that's a lot better than being forced into Locke or Fireteam Osiris or anything like that, even though Buck is the best part of Fireteam Osiris. But I mean, there's a way that they can make the players invested without having it have to be Chief. I think Chief is definitely important to that role, and I maybe it'd be intertwined. Maybe you become part of Blue Team. I don't know.
Smart in the chat says they want to see Chief's customizable armor for the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll start as Chief and play the campaign, and then it like segues into the academy. You know, we're like Chief's going out there and doing his thing, and then we're like, we got to hold the line, right? for the Halo ring or whatever it would be. We gotta reinforce everything. Like, I don't know, man, because part of me, like, I hear what you're saying, Crawler, but part of me is like, Halo is chief, man. And it's going to be really hard for me as an OG Halo player. I mean, I would want to be able to play chief, at least in the campaign, and be chief, because that's part of it that felt awesome, you know, because you're this.
I mean,
BA.
that was a big problem on Halo 5. People were not happy that you played as Locke half the time.
Yeah. And
but
I mean, maybe they do half it. Yeah, maybe they do half it where, you know, half the campaign you're playing as chief and then you're introduced as a Spartan and then you're that Spartan and you run alongside him like a, you know, you have missions where Cade 6 is with you and then you have to go report to him or something. I don't know. It'd be interesting if they do something like that and make Chief more of a, like a commander, I guess, or something like that, you know?
Or you're trying to rescue, like maybe you're trying to, maybe Chief gets stranded somewhere. And you have to try to get to him.
Yeah.
Poncho Chief. We go save Poncho Chief.
Yeah, they better have the poncho in the game too. I need that poncho.
Yeah.
I want to see more campaign as well. But I'm interested to see a roadmap of content for like the multiplayer and the multiplayer suite. So if they could, you know, show a part of the battle pass or, you know, when they're planning on adding like how often they're planning to add content every month, every 3 months or something. I want to know more about multiplayer because single player is like I want to experience it myself. I think I said that last week, but I don't know. There's no way. I mean, maybe I'll be cynical and they only show Forza Horizon 5 at Gamescom, you know?
Get a car on stage, you know, put it out there.
I'm not like super optimistic about Gamescom, honestly, man. Because with COVID and all the stuff, I just don't. I feel like video games. I feel like video game industry has changed, where like things just aren't. We're not getting as much as we used to, and as much news as we used to. So like the news cycle is slowed down. The amount of games that we have that has slowed down, and maybe that's good for the developer culture. So they don't have. I mean, there's always going to be crunch, right? But maybe it's not going to be as much. So I don't know. Maybe they now with the more flexibility because of COVID, they can say, "Hey, you know, because of COVID, we need to delay this longer." You know.
Well, we're kind of hitting the stride of the actual stuff that's been affected by the pandemic because there was stuff at the beginning and most of the stuff that came out last year was so close to being done that it was just pushed across the line. Some of it worse than others. Looking at you, Cyberpunk, and what are some of the other ones that had not great bugs in them? But I mean, there was stuff that was most of the way done that they just didn't see sense in delaying it multiple times like they already had to do. But then there's also like now we're getting to the point where stuff was in the full swing of development that would maybe be ready to come out by holiday this year that just got completely derailed by having all the workers have to go home and not having like Bungie did a vid doc on like how quickly they scrambled their IT department to put together secured like laptop or desktop computers and how they checked them out. They had their employees stop by the studio and they checked them out and they got their dev kits, and it was just a total undertaking that they had to put together in like less than a week to be able to keep the flow of content going. And that was a big studio that at that point I think they had Activision money, but they had to put something together that quick. Not every studio was able to do that and have these dev kits able to be at home and just the security that they need around these kind of games. We haven't seen a Assassin's Creed file on a plane because people haven't been flying and so we haven't seen leaks and stuff like we have in the past.
Yeah.
But the stuff that was probably slated in in studios' minds to be coming out this holiday, it got completely derailed. And I think a lot of stuff is slipping into what we're assuming is early 22. We're looking at
a lot of delays are coming out. There's a bunch of delays coming out.
Horizon Forbidden West is probably going to be early first quarter, and that was going to be something that was going to be going up against Halo. I think Halo has the benefit of being a full year delay from what we're assuming, because I don't think it was going to be a first quarter kind of launch. It never has been for them when they pushed it. It was supposed to be day and date with the Series X, right? That was when it was supposed to come out.
At least part of it. There were rumors that they were releasing the campaign first and then multiplayer later, or the other way around. I don't remember, but I can't imagine like they're. We just played the tech preview a couple weeks ago. I just can't imagine it coming out last year. Like
there's no way.
We're officially 1 year out from when they delayed it. Like I think this past week is when they delayed it last year.
Well, we in part got to be a big chunk of the QA process, I think, with these bots and with the stress test of the servers. Because I think 343 and Microsoft Studios as a whole would have a decent amount of internal people that they could put on an internal stress test. Yep. They could send all the employees home with a pre-build like what we got to play, which they probably have been doing, but scale it up privately before they get us that. And now with the break in kind of how that whole cycle happened, they weren't able to kind of do the big QA internally, which I think they did. They took that extra time to be able to take that time to get the QA done so that they could give us a product that didn't have fruit explode like some people wanted it to. But I think it was a pretty stable. I had a handful of crashes that my game just would freeze and I'd have to quit out, but it was a technical preview. It wasn't
2 months old.
Yeah, it was a 2-month-old build, and it was something that wasn't even in beta state, and they were clear with that. This is not a beta. We were told that I don't know how many times. This is a technical preview to test back-end systems and advance the AI and let the AI teabag you from trying to run upstairs and all sorts of stuff. But it was it was definitely them stress testing stuff, and I think maybe they'll tack on. I mean, they don't need to tack on something. They aren't trying to sell. I don't think any product like what we had with Crackdown. Like that was, I think, the biggest Trojan horse, which ended up being a good game to get people to buy it. But I don't think they're trying to.
No Crackdown slander here, okay?
I like Crackdown. Crackdown 1. Crackdown 2 and 3 is not really, but it was I bought it, and they got people to, I think, enjoy that game, and a brand new IP that they attached Halo to that got people to play it. So I don't think they have anything that they're trying to use as a Trojan horse for this, but they know that they want to put out a good product for everybody. So I think we're going to see these multiple flights. They keep teasing it on their Twitter. Make sure your check marks are good on the Halo Insider. So I mean,
it's going to go live around Gamescom. I don't see it not
probably.
Then there's going to be so many eyes on them. I mean, do we know if Gamescom's in person this year or is it virtual?
I think they shifted virtual. I think they were trying to go, but not. That's usually so massive.
It's like 500,000 people there.
So massive, but I think they're mainly digital this year.
I think they're a lot closer to really being finished with everything than people think. I think the whole flights thing is just to test the final pieces and make sure that, when they do release the Kraken and we're all in multiplayer, it doesn't just like burn down everything. You think it's going to be interesting?
September? Think it hits September?
No, it's going to. I mean, it's going to be like right around or before Thanksgiving, probably like around November 15th or just a little before
Black
Thanksgiving.
Friday. I'm going to beat it by a day.
It might be, but I mean, I think that they are pretty close. I think the technical test itself is just a way for them to test everything, and it's going to be interesting to see how the servers handle everything because they are going to be Microsoft servers, and let's
And there's going to be a lot. And you have the PC. It's
Dude,
gonna be a lot of people playing at one time.
There's so many people that are so ready for this game and have been waiting for a year. Like that's going to be the big thing. Like for us that are like veteran gamers, we know it's probably going to be a little shaky on the first day because everyone's trying to get in and systems just can't handle that. I mean, but when you have
can never prepare.
Yeah,
as long as Lizard Squad stays away from it, I'm
yes.
good.
Oh my gosh.
No, they're gonna. There's definitely gonna be issues like that though. Like you're gonna get DDoSed. You're gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just the nature of the beast.
When you have Nick Merckx and all the other guys that are just ready, even like Doc was like he's ready. Like people are ready to play.
Like Doc was even saying like he doesn't like Apex. He doesn't like Apex. He doesn't like. I don't know. Maybe it's just his persona, but he was saying that he doesn't like Apex. He doesn't like Warzone.
Wow.
Nobody likes Warzone right now.
Yeah.
No one's playing Warzone. I mean, like Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx are playing Apex, and that's like their game now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now there's magically an anti-cheat.
But that they've supposedly been working on for a year.
And no one really cares. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I agree. I think people are ready for something new. Like we've been in this battle royale cycle for 3 years now.
Yeah,
it's gotten stale.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I don't know how many times we've said this on the show in just 12 episodes, but like the fact that we were just running hot laps on 10, 12-minute games. Isn't that how long the timer is on Infinite?
12, I think.
And we were hitting that before because it was bots, and so we were hitting the score cap. But just the quick in and out of it all, and not the queue up on the island before you load on the battle bus. I
accomplished something.
Yeah,
you know?
Like you have a scoreboard and you can see it, and it's not just running around hoping for good loot to pop out of a chest.
And you get shot in the back.
Yeah.
Just get good, Johnny. That's all.
I mean, I need to die like 5 times before I could get in the zone. So battle royale is not good for me.
Yeah.
I could die 5-6 times in an arena shooter and still get a couple kills by the end of it.
So, speaking of like different game modes and stuff, I know it didn't get supported very much in Halo 5. I don't even know if it's still an option in Halo 5. But did you guys play much of Breakout in Halo 5? It was like the round-based.
Nope.
I don't even know what that is.
So you started on like this platform, and you had a conveyor belt that shot you kind of into like a play space. But it was round based. It kind of almost reminds me of now what Apex is doing, taking kind of the Trials of Osiris game mode style, where it's best of 5, best of 7, and it's one life to live, but it's round based, and I wouldn't be opposed to Halo Infinite doing something like that. I don't know. I think they don't want to segment player bases a little bit, but with it being a free game, I think there's definitely opportunity to have different styles. I think there's obviously going to be like a shoddy sniper playlist, a SWAT playlist, the 4v4 like traditional Slayer. Because what does MCC have? It has like an assault Slayer and like a precision Slayer, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but it does take away from like certain maps having to be created for that kind of style, unless they're able to just adapt a kind of round-based game to that kind of.
Was 4 the only one that had like a domination type game? I forget what it was called, but it was where you could hold down zones like A, B, and C.
Control.
Because there's been Crazy King. It was kind of an adaptation of Crazy King of the Hill, where the hill would always move, and that kind of, I think that gameplay from Halo 2 evolved into Is that called Hardpoint in COD? I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
There's Hardpoint.
Headquarters, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
But where it was just pretty much just a moving King of the Hill is all it is. I mean, I think we're going to see maybe a resurgence in Assault and Neutral Bomb and all these classic kind of stuff. Because what was one of the nights we got a decent amount of the community and we were playing stuff? I think it was Halo 4. It was a Halo 4 map, and it was like Neutral Bomb, or maybe it was just regular Assault. But that was like a really fun game that we were having.
I remember we played like Reach for with Assault, and that was fun. But I mean, when you think of Halo, when you think of the game modes that you typically play, you're playing Slayer, you're playing BR Slayer, really.
With how cool the oddball is in Infinite.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oddball is awesome.
Yeah, Oddball's great. So yeah. I hope they add new game modes and
BR baby, it's coming.
It's probably I
don't
know
see how probably
they don't
come.
think about it.
I mean, I think it's how long did it take for? Well, I guess was Blackout before War. Blackout was before Warzone.
Yeah,
right?
Blackout was before Warzone.
Blackout, was Black Ops 3.
Did that launch? Awesome. Did that launch with the release of Black Ops?
Yeah, because
it come out a little bit later.
It was Blackout and multiplayer. Like that one didn't have a single campaign.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, but Warzone came out later than
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare, right? So I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows down the road, like what they could do? I mean, it's a free to play game. The model can evolve.
There's no way they didn't look at it.
The lore is there. Like I see the pros and cons of it all. The lore is there. Your ODSTs were dropping in hot, and this is a training exercise to find out who the best of the best is. You're going to get promoted to Spartan if you come out on top or something. I don't know.
Academy, and you'll get the stick, and you'll and you'll be kind of like a Spartan, but not really strong like a Spartan 2.
I mean, how hard is it to make a battle royale? You just make the map bigger, you throw like few extra people in there.
Throw some extra code in there.
Take all those maps and just smush them in together. That's all they did with Warzone, right? They just took all the different maps and smushed them in.
Well, that's what they did in Blackout. Blackout was just a bunch of different maps, all squished together, and I would be okay with that. Like
fields in between, just put it on a Halo ring.
And then you have some weird mechanic. Like instead of the gulag, you have you have to fight it out in the academy.
Oh my gosh!
Got a reboot van in there.
I never thought I'd say this, but Josh, where are you?
Have an Ariana Grande concert. You gotta get the kids interested in this.
Oh my god!
Hey, Ryan Reynolds, dude from Free Guys. Fortnite.
Have you seen that stuff? It's hilarious.
I've seen the skin. I haven't logged in.
Brian Reynolds or whatever the heck his name is.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
so
you never.
There's no way they didn't look at it. There's no way. Let's talk about something else. What do you want to? So the file size potential, it was under 100 gigs.
It was like 97, I think. Yeah,
that's not a lot to have a campaign, multiplayer, and BR. So
the BR is not there.
It's not on the disc, okay?
It's DLC.
Yeah. No.
I was thinking. So the campaign, right? It's not free to play. What are they going to charge for it?
I think it's regular price.
Game Pass, and they seem to be.
That doesn't count. But what if
they seem to be? Well, if you don't have game, I guess multiplayer is free. That I hadn't thought about that.
I think it's the same price.
I think it would be 60. They
charge 60 for a campaign only.
I mean, Microsoft or Sony charges 70 now for a 15-hour single player experience. I mean, I don't know.
Good point. Good point.
This is their.
But it is Microsoft. I feel like they would undercut it. I would say like.
Well, they are undercutting it. 60 is cheap for this generation.
That's true.
Like with Game Pass, like I think Microsoft is disrupting what Sony and Activision are trying to do. Activision, first off, wants to charge you like $10 just to, well, Sony too, wants to charge you $10 to $30 to upgrade your previous version to the next gen version, where Xbox is just smart delivery, give it to you, here it is. Like you have it downloaded, you get the best version of it. And that it's them being behind has benefited the gamer that is on their platform. When Returnal was a brand new IP for $70, Sony was, I think, dictating that price, because I don't know if Housemarque would necessarily have wanted to price it that way, being a brand new IP and them being an arcade style developer. But they put AAA kind of money and development time behind Returnal. But I think Returnal only did okay because of the reviews it got. But like Johnny, you were apprehensive about $70 for a brand new IP.
Oh yeah. It's definitely, it's hard to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, and especially on the other foot, if you're fortunate enough to have both consoles or all three, because Nintendo's putting out stuff for $50 still, or 13-year-old games for $50, but $60, but still, well, 60, 50 if you get it at Walmart or whatever. But yeah, it's Microsoft seems to be recouping whatever Sony and Activision are trying to set this new precedent for a $70 current gen title, and Microsoft's taking the Netflix style subscription and supplementing that down to the people that don't want to pay for that subscription to buy the game for $60.
But we also mentioned this before. We're probably buying whatever special edition comes out of Halo Infinite.
And I was thinking about that.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna, if I can do this.
Can you share
your screen? And then Johnny,
hold on. I can allow it. There we go.
Look at this. So right here, it's $59.99 on Amazon, and look at the release date, December 31st, 2021.
I mean,
are you new to the internet there?
Yeah,
I know it's probably a placeholder, but still, like, it's like.
Can you imagine somebody releasing a game on New Year's Eve?
I mean, there you go. There you go. $59.99 at least confirmed.
Yeah. So thinking about collector's editions, I have Noble Team sitting up here. I have the statue or whatever. I have the cat helmet that's packed away in a box somewhere. I kick myself for not getting the Steelbook, very bare bones collector's edition or whatever of Halo 2. I forget what did Halo 4 have? What did Halo 4 have?
It had a Steelbook.
I buy digital. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I buy digital as well. I don't usually get.
But I'm trying to I hope they go back to the Halo 3, Halo Reach style Legendary Edition and give something, because the fat Steelbook with the steel sculpture crap or whatever that's still sitting in non-sculpture form for me in my Steelbook it's not great. I want the statue.
Yeah,
I have the collector's edition from Star Wars Old Republic of a game I only played for a few months. Mule's still playing it, but there's cool stuff to be had. I have God knows where
game in it. Doesn't need to have the game. I think a lot of special editions now don't come with the game.
I'll take a legendary edition for $100 and not pack the game in. I mean, because I already have it.
So somebody in the chat asked, how do you think it's going to run on Steam Deck?
I don't know if it's going to run on because Apex isn't confirmed to run on Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, there's only certain games.
They're working on it though, and it's because of the anti-cheat that Apex has. that the OS that the Steam Deck has doesn't support that.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, it's default with a Linux system, which you're going to have to boot a Windows into it probably to get the because then you can probably get Game Pass on Steam Deck if you boot a Windows version into it. But you might also need a Windows OS to run Halo and Steam. I don't know.
Could you just Steam it via the cloud, like cloud login, like you can from your
probably.
PC?
Yeah,
You know, Xbox
Technically,
Cloud Gaming right there.
I don't know.
So
I'm so skeptical of Steam Deck. These Steam machines.
well, Valve doesn't have a great track
They always
record.
get hyped up, and they always flop.
Yeah, Valve's hardware doesn't have the greatest track record.
yeah.
But I'll be interested to see if games like Halo Infinite can run decently well on it. I don't know. I would if I was somebody thinking about getting Steam Deck and getting it to play Halo Infinite, I would wait to see
I think
how it runs.
I think you'd have a better time probably spending $100 on a backbone, most likely. But even then, your phone is gonna cook. I think trying to run this.
Oh
game.
yeah. Have either of you played the cloud gaming on your phones?
I've
I
dabbled
played
a
on
little
my
bit with the
phone.
clip or whatever
Mhm.
with the controller.
It gets so hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's utilizing that graphics chip in the phone pretty hardcore.
I've done the Xbox streaming on to PC, and it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Like the cloud based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I even tried MLB The Show just to see how timing was on batting, and it wasn't bad. I did it through my browser on my computer. So I mean, it's definitely a viable option if you have a solid enough So that's where the Steam Deck might succeed a little bit better is being, but that's an expensive browser based cloud gaming machine.
And you could get a Series S for cheaper, and it will
probably buy
Halo
that.
better.
And they have there's a company out there making portable fold down screens like old school.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. So that can be your.
How big? The Series S isn't that big, is it? It's
I was surprised. I
pretty
saw
small.
one finally. I haven't gone into Best Buy in a while, but I was in there, I think, picking up something. And I just happened to wander back there, and there was one of the display units sitting out there, and it's tiny. I did not think it was that small.
Yeah. Or I mean, you could even spend an extra, like a Steam Deck. What is $400 for the lowest end model? You could spend an extra $100 to get the Series X. I mean, I don't want to tell people what to do, but if you're getting a Steam Deck just for Halo or
Look, just save your money and buy a PC, okay?
all right, just play the Switch. All right.
Just use the cloud on your phone. That's all you have to do.
Get an ice pack for your phone. Just put it on top.
Yeah. Just stand in front of your freezer. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Just open the
it
door,
does.
sit right in.
Yeah. Put a little disclaimer on that. It gets super hot if you're playing cloud
Yeah.
gaming on your phone.
No, but Landon's saying that the portability is a huge factor for him. I honestly think, man, I mean, if portability is the big thing for you, if just get a cheap laptop and do the Xbox cloud gaming, because I think you'll be fine.
What about the NVIDIA Shield or whatever it's called? Has anybody ever tried that?
I think that's losing a lot of its support. It's not.
I think it has
I don't know how
latency
supportive.
issues too.
Yeah, that's a big issue with the cloud gaming, the latency. I don't know how it's gonna work with Halo.
And input lag. That's huge.
Input lag is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably
that's
only
what
play the campaign.
and that's what Stadia is trying. That's what I don't know how much Google's actually putting behind R&D right now.
Stadia is still a thing.
Technically, I think, but that was one of the things that Stadia was working on. The engineers were working on was anticipated inputs, so that they would run. I think it was like Loki in the multiverse. They'd run branching options simultaneously for what you would possibly press or do. and then when you press it, it would instantly switch to whatever your anticipated input was, so that it would reduce that latency.
I did play some Stadia, and the latency was like non-existent. Like I played some Destiny, and
have any of you played Luma or whatever? I qualified.
The Amazon one?
Yeah, I got a thing for it, but then I realized it was only like a 7-day trial, and I probably could have plugged in a random controller, but I didn't even try it. Because that's the appeal of like that. I think that's why Luma and Stadia are behind the 8 ball when it comes to playing second fiddle to Game Pass. Game Pass, it's a subscription, but the games are baked into it. Versus Stadia, where I think they give you a game or two a month, kind of like Epic. Store
as long as
does.
you subscribe, though, it's like $10 a month.
But it's not as diverse a library, and they're like, oh, see a game, buy it and play it right away. Like, but you have to buy it, and it's at least on PlayStation. Well, not even guaranteed on PlayStation or Nintendo. When you buy a game digitally, it's yours, and it's most likely that it's going to be there. But there are stuff where things fall off the eShop or the PlayStation Store, and then you can't download them again. So
what if they shut it down, then you lost your money.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Stadia
the big perk of xCloud and Game Pass, it's like a perk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I don't think people are exclusively subscribing to Game Pass just to use the cloud gaming. You have
a piece. You can. I think you can use that even if you're just an Xbox. Like you just have to have an Xbox login. Like I don't know if you have to have a sub or not.
Yeah, because I think it's like $10 a month if you aren't doing Ultimate, but then Ultimate gets you the PC and other stuff. So and that's $15 a month. But I mean, for what it is again, best deal in gaming. hashtag ad, you know.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Game Pass yet, but
right.
But Phil, our DMs are open. Hit us up.
Look, man, I'm just waiting for 343 to be like, hey guys, do you want to come by the studio and test a few things out? I'd be like, you tell me when, sir.
I'm so
we already have the name Halo Infinite Podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just be like, hey, do you want to be the official Halo Infinite Podcast?
Look, you guys can live here in the studio. Bring your family. It'll be fine. I'm like, it'll take some convincing of the wife, but I'm there.
And I mean, Josh has already talked about when he went by 343. Like, I was at Boondocks this last weekend for my son's birthday, and they have the Fireteam Raven game. I'm so half tempted to go pump 30, 40, whatever bucks into that thing just to play through the campaign of it. But I want 3 other dudes to play with me, and I got you guys, so we just got to get out to 343, and then they got the free play mode set up out there, and we can just play through Fireteam Raven.
Well,
we gotta get a house set up.
It's like a 12-hour flight for me, or like a 6.5-hour
flight. What?
It's like something like sorry, 6.5 hour
there's
flight.
No way.
No, it's not. It's like 4 hours.
It's like
most.
2.
No, it's longer than that. Well,
Texas.
I don't know. I'd have to
Seattle.
Hold on, I'm going to Google
like 5
this.
hours
Hold on.
for Johnny. Come on.
Yeah, it's definitely 5 hours for me.
Look, Texas is bigger than
But
those countries over there, those little states over there on the East Coast. Okay.
Yeah, if you think I go straight across, you would be like diagonal. So maybe.
Let's see. Let me look this up. From DFW alone to Seattle, the average typical flight is 8 hours and 59 minutes.
Is that nonstop?
In a Cessna, maybe? Like, come on.
Is that Spirit Airlines?
Nonstop. Nonstop. Yeah. It can be that. So.
Well, we just got to get a house out there.
Hold on. I'm going to research. This doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I feel like it's like
6 hours max. It takes 6 hours max to go like LA to New York. Come on.
Let's see. It's got to tell me.
Are you
flights.com?
Go to like Southwest or something like that and plug in a flight. It'll tell you how long it takes.
At the very bottom of Texas, going to the very top of Washington.
Oh my goodness!
Pretty close to the bottom.
We're live doing this on the air.
Yeah. We're Josh. We need you to come back next week. We need you.
It's pandemonium over here.
It's getting out of control. Also, like, I can't make fun of these two. You know, like, Josh is the punching bag. We need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're coming up on the hour. I did want to mention I started listening to Fall of Reach
on Audible or whatever.
On Audible, yeah, and I'm not too far in, but it's kind of messed up already. Like the lore of Halsey and
nonstop
what
flight,
she was doing.
4 hours and 20 minutes. You're looking at like durations with plane changes and stuff. 4 hours. Yeah,
this one's with one stop. Yeah,
Mule's walking.
Plane change.
Mule's walking from Texas.
It's a plane change.
I felt like running.
All of the things that I'm looking at say at least one stop, so that's why I was saying 8.
They come through my neck of the woods. They stop in Denver, and then
the dang Denver guys over there.
Jesus.
We've totally destroyed the back 15 minutes.
Yeah. We
so
anyway, all right. So we have any other Halo thoughts to wrap this one up?
Well, tell us about Fall of Reach. Like what? So what?
Oh no, I'm like super early. I think I'm on chapter like 2 or something. But like the backstory of Halsey and like what she was doing, it's pretty messed up.
Oh yeah.
I
mean that ties into the Halsey diary that's in the the legendary edition of Reach. She did some messed up stuff.
Or was she proactive with human evolution?
Didn't more than half of the...
I mean, she had some 8-hour flights that she just sat there and had lots of time to think about this.
I mean, yeah, those planetary trips take a while.
Jeez. Well,
right on.
I think that about does it for this week. We don't forget to join the Discord. I didn't do the house cleaning stuff in the beginning, but don't forget to join the Discord. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok. We're everywhere. But yeah, it's episode 12.
Yeah,
that's an episode.
That's an episode.
See you next time.
Did it.
Josh will be back here. And
Josh, come back, please.
Yeah, Josh, are you here? All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.
Don't pull a Josh.
Later.
Please call us at your earliest convenience. Now, show me what you can do.